Hi everybody, welcome to part 5 of our Between Earth and Sky journey. Today we are going to keep working on our Firefly badge for our journey, and we are going to finish reading chapter 2 in our book. So we're going to get to the part where all the flowers get to Pebble Beach. Jasper Beach on their way to the Lupine Festival. So you should get to this page where they're getting to the Pebble Beach and they're looking at all the shapes and the colors of the rocks, which is really fun. So I know we can't go anywhere right now, but have you guys, any of you, been to a beach that looked like that was rocky instead of sandy? Or what was the beach that you did go to? So I've been to beaches that have been rocky before, and some that were sandy. Some had lots of shells, and some just had lots of like gooky seaweed on it. There's lots of different kinds of beach, which is really fun. So they talked about how the rocks there were all wet. So here's something fun that you could do at home, even if you are not at a beach. So you can go outside. If you have a rock collection home, you can use that. If you don't, you can go outside and collect some rocks. They can be any kind of rocks. They can be pretty ones or just regular ones or random ones. So I have a handful of rocks that I have collected over the past few years that were very round. That's why I like them a lot. So they're really fun. But what do you think would happen? Like, these rocks are all dry right now. What happens to rocks when they get wet? Do they change? You can try it with just some rocks and some water. You can do this outside. You can do it inside. So we can try it now. I got this round gray rock. What do you think will happen once it's wet compared to when it's dry? Do you think it'll look different? Do you think its color will change? So we got it now. Look carefully. I'm going to put it in my little cup of water here. And what happened? Did it change color? It's definitely a different color, right? Before it was like a light gray, kind of the same color as my shirt. It got a lot darker. It's kind of shiny now, right? It's pretty fun. So let's see. I'm going to dry off my hands. I got this different one. It's kind of like a light blue flat one. What do you think will happen? I'll dip it in. I'll just do half of it so we can compare. Look at that. Now you can see the color change. And look, it's all shiny. It's wet. Why do you think the water makes it do that? Right? Do you think it's changing the way the light hits it? Do you think it'll go back to its normal color when it dries? Do you think it'll stay that way forever? I wish it would stay that forever. So some of the things you might talk about is how when it's wet, the water lets more light reflect off the stone, so it looks shinier like that. Right? But there's different things you can try. I got one more. I got this other one that's kind of like a grayish brown. We'll do the same thing. I'll dip it in half so we can see what happens to it. There you go. See, it gets a lot darker. It gets shinier. I'm going to hold it towards the window so you can see the light shining off of it. Isn't that cool? I wish it would stay like that all the time. Then I could have all these two-colored rocks. It'd be really fun. And a lot of the rocks that you find by the water end up getting a lot smoother than the ones you might find out by your house in the yard or something, because when they tumble around in the water rubs them smooth. If it's bumping against other rocks or sand, it rubs them all smooth and wonderful like that. So another thing that we can do today is the flowers were talking about how they found all these shapes and colors in nature. So last time we talked about how many different colors we could find in nature. Today you could go outside, you could bring a piece of paper and a clipboard or whatever you like, and see how many shapes you can find out in nature. So we did this. I did this with my daughter, and we drew all kinds of things that we found outside and what shapes they might be made of. So we got some insects, we got a dandelion, we got aphids, we got a robin, and so I drew some too, and I wrote about what things were. Like, the ivy in our front yard looked like it was made of triangles. And dandelion flowers are all round like a circle. Let's see, what else? Our azalea leaves were ovals. Let's see, birds, like robins, are triangles and circles. And I found a branch that was a cylinder. That's like a hollow tube shape. What else did I get? Well, we have a bee habitat in our backyard that's shaped like a teardrop. And let's see, we had redbud trees. Their leaves are beautiful. I love them because they're heart-shaped. And we have a fence in our yard that's made of rectangles. So you can go outside, do the same thing, see how many shapes you can find. If there are any shapes that you don't know the names of, you might be able to ask a grown-up. Were there any shapes you couldn't find? Like, we had a lot of trouble finding like squares and rectangles that were out in nature, that weren't made by people. The only ones I could find were things like the bricks were rectangles and our fence was a rectangle and sidewalks have squares. But it's hard to find rectangles and squares in nature. But maybe you can do it. I don't know. You can try and do that. And the last thing is special skills. So we all have special skills. Not just superheroes have superpowers, but everybody has special skills that they're good at. So you can think about what special skills maybe somebody in your family has. Maybe they're really, really good at being patient, or they're super strong, or they're really good at drawing. Keep track of, maybe go around and make a list of the special skills that the people in your family have. Maybe your pet has a special skill. Dogs have really good sense of smell. Our cat has super sharp claws. There's all different kinds of special skills. So let's think about that. That'll be for our Firefly Award. We'll keep track of our skills for the road. So go outside, go find some shapes, maybe find some rocks, get them wet, see what happens, and have a good journey. I will see you back here for number 6. Have fun.